leader?
Yes.
Flawed. It's very fun to play. He tries. He's trying. I think Derek gets in a little over his head. I think he's a little cocky at the beginning of the season, which is fun to play, especially in contrast to last year. Last year was very one-face, so to come in this year with so many different layers and so many different new things to play with the character is very exciting. But I think he's going to need some help. I think he's definitely going to have to turn to some people that you would never expect him to turn to. So he's going to have to dig himself out of a hole. I think Derek's motives, there's certain ones that we talk about that may give away certain things. But I think in season 1, really, it was kind of, I've said this a little bit, I think season 1, I think Derek's motives were primarily and almost solely just to survive, because he was that lone wolf, he was the Omega, very much on his own. And I think now that he's, had this pack, I think his focus has been to, thrive as the new Alpha. I think it's finally getting that sense of power and control, and not having to always be so much on the run and trying to get away from hunters and trying to feel safe. So I think it's trying to assert that dominance, not maybe necessarily for malicious reasons, but just for the fact of not having to always be fearful. I think Derek definitely does use the people around him to further his will and what he wants, but at the end of the day, I think he has a hard time showing it, but I think he does care. He does have a soft spot for people that are in his pack, and he does want to see them be okay. He doesn't want to see them get hurt. And I think that's what there was a scene with the training. It was like, I'm not teaching you how to fight, I'm teaching you to survive. Where he wants to see them, be ones that can survive in these situations. So the thing we've said with, the way that Derek views Scott is that I think it's almost like, it's like watching a little brother grow up, kind of, so you start to see him come into his own, and the fact that they have such different motives does kind of put them in conflict, but at the same time, it's almost this pride, I think, and it's almost this excitement in watching him grow into these powers and learning how to control them. I think he ultimately believes that him and Scott can be allies, and that they should be allies. So there's a point of pride, and there's also that recognition that this could also be something to deal with if Scott was to really turn on him. So he's going to throw him under the bus. I think he's just going to get rid of him. I think Derek wants his own show. I think with the same way that he treats the pack, I think Scott is someone who is I don't want to say special to him, but someone that does, fills a certain part of his life. So Derek is someone without a family now. He has no one left. So that sense of having someone around that you have that familiarity with, I think everybody can identify with that. The idea of having someone who's an old friend or someone who's just been there with you through something. It's always nice to keep those relationships. We talked about Derek and the fact that he drives a very nice car, lives in a burned down house, and now is apparently living in an abandoned train in an underground railway. So it is interesting, but it looks great on the camera, the sets look amazing, but we kind of have a running joke, he's very underground. He doesn't like to draw too much attention to himself, but he has a little bit of money. He could probably afford to do something, because we get that all the time on Twitter. It's one of the biggest things I get. Why does Derek drive such a nice car? He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a house. And I say he has life insurance claims from 15 family members. He has plenty of them. He's just being smart in investing. So
but not in real estate.
He's looking for the future. But yes, and not in real estate, because that's unstable right now. So he's a very smart guy. But yeah, it's like a little underground railway thing. So we'll see what happens next year. I think that's something that we'll definitely probably get into. I can see in season 3, especially now there's 24 episodes. If it was 12, I'd say maybe even into season 4. But maybe in the second half of season 3, I could see that maybe happening. I don't write the show, so I can't say. But I do think that just looking at what Derek's intentions are and what he really wants in life, the discussions we've had on set, I think that's something that he would want to find eventually. But right now, it's kind of you're at a different point in your life and you're focused on your career and you're not ready, you don't have the time for a relationship. I don't think that's where I think that's where Derek is right now. He has other things to worry about. He's trying to set up his future. He's trying to create a life and get out of something that he has to find a way out of. So I think that's where his focus is right now.